All right, the meeting is called to order. Can we have the roll?
Danielle Bailey.
Here.
Greg Strike.
Here.
Andre Spinelli.
Here.
Jared Gardner.
Here.
Radhika Krishna. Here. Scott Pulis.
Here.
Jeff Ron.
Here.
Mr. Quinn and Mr. Winchester are excused. You have a quorum. Thank you.
Moving on to the next item of business, is there a motion to approve the minutes? And would like to clarify the record that there was a typo on Connors Bog, but that will be corrected in the motion. Motion by Commissioner Strike, second by Commissioner Pulis. Are there any objections? Seeing no objections, the minutes are approved. Moving on to the next item of business, disclosures. Commissioner Pulis?
None.
Commissioner Strike?
Yes, in the matter of the items on the consent agenda, on the action date of 7/19/21, I was not present, therefore I will not be voting.
That will be accounted for in the votes. Commissioner Gardner?
No disclosures.
Commissioner Spinelli?
Nothing to discuss.
Commissioner Krishna?
No disclosures.
Commissioner Ron?
No disclosures.
And I have no disclosures. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion by Commissioner Krishna, second by Commissioner Ron. Call for a vote. And that motion passes. Moving on to our public hearing item. Before I get to that, I'm going to state the procedure by which the public may speak to the commission. The procedure by which the public may speak to the commission at its meetings is as follows. After the staff presentation is completed on public hearing items, the chair will ask for public testimony on the issue. Persons who wish to testify will follow the time limits established in the commission rules of procedure. Petitioners, including all of his or her representatives, will receive 10 minutes. Part of this time may be reserved for rebuttal. Representatives of groups such as community councils, PTAs, will receive 5 minutes. Individuals will receive 3 minutes. When your testimony is complete, you may be asked questions by the commission. You may only testify once on any issue unless questioned by the commission. An individual may have appeal rights relating to any action the Planning and Zoning Commission takes, except commission recommendations to the Assembly, which are not appealable. Appeals must be filed with the clerk's office within 20 days after approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission of the resolution, which is the commission's final decision. A fee for the appeal is required at the time of filing. Moving on to case 2021-0067. Staff, can we hear the report?
Thank you, Chair. Glacier View LLC is seeking to modify the zoning boundary on their property to subdivide into smaller lots and to remove outdated special limitations. If you turn to page 8 of your packets, you'll see the sort of wavy line dividing their parcel kind of in half, so that the front half along the Alyeska Highway is zone GR4, and the back half is zoned GR4 SL and has the special limitations. If you turn from page 8, where you're looking at the parcel within that checkered line, if you turn to page 9, then you'll see approximately how they plan to subdivide the property and plat it so that the special limitations portion of the lot, it'd be subdivided into its own tract, and it would be a straight line. That's what's at issue with this sort of cleanup of the zoning, to straighten the special limitations and to remove some of the ones that have already been resolved. Glacier View LLC is requesting to eliminate the split zoning on Alpine View Estates subdivision phase 3 tract B-2B per plat 2014-38 by modifying the zoning district boundary to match a recent residential subdivision approved with preliminary plat case S12622. This rezone is required prior to recording the final plat of the property. The north half of the petition site is zone GR4 and the southern half is zone GR4 SL per special limitations from 2007. The zoning boundary curves and meanders through the parcel. Earlier this year, the plating officer approved a preliminary plat subject to 9 conditions of approval, and one of them stated, complete and effectuate the zoning of the subject parcel to GR4 and GR4 SL per case 2021-0067. That's the case in front of you. The special limitations required a number of things that have been resolved. So they required wetland setbacks, dedication of water and sewer, easements, dedication of rights of way, and limit residential density with an administrative site plan review. All of these special limitations have been resolved except for the limitation on residential density because the property is not developed yet. This will allow them to subdivide and then build housing. So current Title 21 regulations that were adopted in 2015 contain wetland setback requirements. Also, the water and sewer easements will be platted or have been platted, and the required right-of-way dedication is part of the approved preliminary plat. And then the applicant is carrying forward the special limitation limiting residential density and requiring that administrative site plan review. So that requirement will remain as a special limitation. So the reviewing agencies don't object to this application. 93 public hearing notices were mailed and no responses, and the Girdwood Board of Supervisors didn't send any comments either. The department finds that the application meets the approval criteria, the 9 approval criteria for a rezone, and recommends approval subject to the zoning, subject to an effective clause and 2 special limitations. They're on page 5 of your packet. So this zoning map amendment shall become effective upon the recording of a suitable replat. And then the special limitations are the district is limited to 8 dwelling units per acre, and that each lot shall have an administrative site plan review. And that's reflected in the draft assembly ordinance on page 6 and 7 of your packet. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? Commissioner Gardner?
Thank you. My question relates to the second special limitation about the administrative site plan review, and specifically, I guess when and how that requirement would apply, and after whatever initial development takes place, if there's a change in the use, that special limitation would also apply for future uses as well, or if the intent is that it's just for the first development, if that makes sense.
Let's see, so the front half has no special limitations and will continue to have none. The back tract is one tract of land, and it's likely to be developed all as one because its access will probably be coming from Barron Avenue. If it were to be subdivided, each development, the development of each lot would be required to comply with both the administrative site plan review and with the limitation on to 8 dwelling units per acre maximum.
And then,
For the district.
okay, and then would future development also require an additional administrative site plan review?
No, just the first one.
Okay, and that's the intent?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions for staff? Seeing no other questions for staff in the queue, can we hear from the petitioners?
Guys for being here on a beautiful sunny day. I'm sure you've got better things to do.
Your mic is not on. Can you please, there should be a little sticky note on the top. It's the black thing on top of the, no, further, it's right on there. And then if you could state your name for the record before you start.
Anyway, Yeah, Francis did a nice job of explaining, I think, what we have going on here. We went to plat this
Sorry
property.
to interrupt you again. Can you state your name for the record?
My name is Tim Cabana, and I'm the owner of Glacier View. And what we had here is we went to plat this piece of property, and there was a zoning line that GR4 and GR4SL, one has a limitation of 8 units per acre and the other one doesn't. And we could not plat the lots because they would not, the 1 to 3 length ratio, it was impossible with the crooked line. And the crooked line was from years ago when we did a land trade with HLB, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that. And this line appeared at that time, and there wasn't any real, I think the idea was to maybe follow the tree line, but it didn't do it very well. And there is no net gain or net loss. That all we're doing is straightening the line out, and the amount of GR4, SL, and GR4 is going to be essentially the same. It's just straightening the line out so that the lots will satisfy the 1 to 3 ratio. So it's not going to change. I don't say there was nobody was against it in Girdwood. I took it to the land use and the GBOS, and they both didn't have a problem. I haven't heard one person that said anything about this.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions for the petitioner? Seeing no questions from petitioner, thank you for your time. You have 8 minutes and 39 seconds remaining for rebuttal, and we'll see if anyone would like to speak at this time.
Okay, that's it?
Yep, you're good. We'll call you up again at the end.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And thanks again for being here on a sunny day.
Is anyone here from the public wishing to testify on this matter? Seeing no one from the public wishing to testify on this matter, we'll call you back up. And you have 8 minutes and 39 seconds to rebut all of that testimony.
Okay.
And you can also, if you have nothing else
How
to
about I
add.
stop wasting your time at this point and let us get through this?
All right.
Thank you.
Then the public hearing at this time is closed. Turning to the commission, what is the will of the body? Commissioner Strike.
I'll get this moving forward then. In the matter of case 2021-0067, the rezone from GR4 with special limitations to a different GR4 and GR4 special limitations as noted, I would move for approval.
Motion by Commissioner Strike, seconded by Commissioner Krishna. Would anyone like to speak to the motion?
I'll go ahead and speak initially on that. And that I think the staff did a good job. The questions I had coming in were answered. This seems to be very much an administrative process, and so this will definitely clean up the zoning, clean up the track land, and in match to the plating that's been put in place. I do see that all 9 of the criteria have been met, and that there was no objections to the department recommendations that have been noted on numbers 1 and 2.
Thank you, Commissioner Strike. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Seeing no one else in the queue, call for a vote. And that motion passes. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
And now we're just resetting our system. And I see a whole bunch of commissioners getting antsy. Motion to adjourn by Commissioner Strike, seconded by Commissioner Spinelli. Seeing no objections, we are adjourned. Everyone.